Hey Vivian, it's Shannon. Instead of just typing everything up for you, I thought I would just show you how I use Think Central, and I hope that this kind of helps show you some of the things that you can do in here as a teacher. So I actually have to assign something for my students coming up, so I'm going to just go ahead and do that now while I'm doing the video. So there's a couple of ways you can find your story. You can obviously go to the grade level and you can search the whole book and the table of contents will come up and you could find it that way. That's happened to me once or twice where for some reason it's loaded incorrectly in Think Central, and even though you're typing in the title correctly, it doesn't come up that way. And so the best way to do it is just search in that case. I'm going to look for Jose Born to Dance, which is a story we're going to do in like 3 weeks. And it's one thing I always do because you're going to get tons of resources that come up. I like to put student after. So the results that come up are student centered. And then the other thing I like to do is I like to come over here and I like to press the assignable tab. So it's going to show me anything for students, not for teachers, that can be assigned. So then I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to look. And let's see if I can find it. And what I'm looking for is the textbook for them. Here it is, or the vocabulary and context. So I always like to start with that vocab and then go into the actual story. So I'm going to press assign here. And then I'm going to put Jose Born to Dance vocabulary. And my instructions are going to be read. And this is actually loaded in from last week. Read the vocabulary and study for your test Friday. And your resource is already loaded in here because you found it and pressed the assign tab. So it's already loaded in here. So then I'm going to just find one of my classes. These are my 2 classes and they all come up over here and you have to add them. So these are your available students. And when you press add all, these become the students in the assignment. So I'm actually going to assign this. Let me see if I can pull this up so I can actually see it. I guess not. I'm actually going to assign this for Monday the 20th. And so this is going to be the available date. And I leave it open for the whole week. So I'm just going to leave it open till the 25th. And the time I'm going to make it available is I'm going to make a scheduled start and stop. I'm just going to say 5 a.m. to, I don't know, I'm going to say 11 p.m. on Saturday. So it's open the whole week for them to look at. And then I'm just going to, let's see, here you have to select a subject. So I'm going to select subject. And you can actually split your students into different groups if you wanted to, split them into your tier groups or whatever you were doing. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to put save. And what does it say? Times must be typed in the hour, minute format. Oh, right here. That was my mistake, 11 p.m. Okay, so it says, are you going to create a new assignment? And you're going to say yes. So you're going to have to go through the same thing. So you're going to see some of the other things that I have loaded in here. These are the things my kids did this week. So they read Sidewalk Artists, which was the little story that went with Me and Uncle Romy. I've also added the Me and Uncle Romy test in here. So you can actually assign the test as well. And when you search for your story and you press assignable, that's going to be one of your options that come up. I'm actually going to go back to assignments and I'm going to assign it for my other block really quick. So these will kind of auto-populate. So we'll just do it again. And it's going to say, now this is another way you could do it. You could do a searchable resource and then it's going to say go. And I'm going to put Jose Born to Dance vocabulary. And then it should actually come up. Let's see if it comes up on here. Student book. So that's another way you can assign something. You can either search for it or you can just search for it when you go to do an assignment. And now this time I'm going to select my other block and then I'm going to do select a subject is reading. I'm going to add all these kids over here into the assignment. I'm going to schedule it for Monday the 20th. I'm going to schedule a start and a finish time. I'm going to put it on the 25th for the stop. And I'm going to do 5 a.m. to 11. Oops. p.m. Okay, and then save. And I'm going to do that new assignment. So I've just now loaded in. Now it's not showing up here because it's not this week, but when the actual week comes up, this is what will show on your screen. And then the students will actually see it in their to-do. So when they go into Think Central, they're going to see to-do and they're going to see my library. And actually I think it's in to-do, and you're going to have assigned it to them. So you're going to assign the vocab. And then I'm actually going to go back in here and I'm going to assign the story as well. And then I'm going to load the test up for Friday. And because I'm putting it for certain times and certain dates, they won't be able to access like the test before Friday at 5 a.m. So I hope that kind of clears things up just on how I assign things. Let me know if you have any other questions.